Hey everybody, this is Tim Maria with a special guest today on Digital Health Summit Live. We have Grant Campany, who's the Senior Director for the Archon Genomics X Prize presented by Express Scripts. Hey Grant.
Good morning, Tim.
So you're calling in from LA.
That's correct.
Now Grant, I met Peter Diamandis a couple times in the past and hear a lot about the X Prize. Can you go over what the X Prize actually is for folks who aren't familiar with it?
Absolutely. Well, the X Prize is really an organization that is set to foster innovation and create incentivized competitions that really break down barriers towards breakthroughs which would benefit humanity.
Mm-hmm. And what is the incentive? What's the incentive you're trying to create with this Genomics X Prize? What's the background behind it?
That's a great question. This competition originally was seeded with the idea that when Craig Venter completed sequencing the human genome, or at least the draft of the first human genome back in 2000, I think at least when Craig was interested in determining how technologies could be innovated to produce more high-quality, low-cost whole genomic sequencing to really usher in a whole new era of personalized medicine. And that's really the origin of this idea. And Craig worked with Peter initially and was interested in creating a $10 million competition that would really drive innovation towards really getting these medical breakthroughs which would truly benefit not only patients but physicians and researchers worldwide.
And what's your role in all of this?
So my role is principally to run the day-to-day operations of this competition. Mm-hmm. Much like a business, we have a staff, we have a number of collaborators around the world that we're working with. So it's really pulling together the resources and the human talent to operate and to really run this competition.
So who helps fund it? Who helps underwrite it?
Well, there's really two principal sources of funding for this competition. The major benefactor has been, or at least I should say the major philanthropist who provided initial funding for this competition was Dr. Stuart Blusson and his wife Marilyn. And they provided the initial $10 million prize purse, as well as the seed funding for the competition. Mm-hmm. We also have received funding from the Express Scripts as a presenting sponsor of the competition.
Awesome. So that sounds pretty exciting. So it's a worldwide competition, and then who benefits from this at the end of the day?
Well, at the end of the day, really, everyone benefits, including patients who will be able to know with confidence that whole genomic sequences have finally been, or have technologies that provide these whole genomic sequences have finally reached a place where there's confidence in the results. Mm-hmm. So, meaning that there's a quality standard that has been established to define what real medical grade genomes are. Mm-hmm. And for researchers and physicians who are relying on this information in terms of high levels of accuracy mm-hmm. and low cost, this will be a platform by which we'll be able to make history by becoming that defining point in time when technologies have achieved these criteria.
Yeah, it's just a huge breakthrough in really understanding who we are and what we're made of, right?
That's absolutely correct.
And you're going to be speaking at the 4:20 to 5 or 4:50 p.m. Thursday, 10th. And the topic of the subject is Mission Decrypting DNA, the key to understanding longevity. Tell me about the 100 supercentenarians.
So one of the questions that we were contemplating when we basically put this competition together is, obviously this competition is geared towards testing and validating whole genomic sequencing technologies. So in order to do that, we needed to first provide the sources of DNA that these teams would sequence as part of the competition. So what we decided on, after consulting with a number of researchers around the world, was to identify some of the world's oldest living people and having them donate their DNA as a source of DNA for the competition. So the idea here is that what we're trying to do is two things. We're trying to first provide a scientific mechanism by which scientists can ask the question, what enables these people to live such long lives and evade disease? And given that this competition is all about sequencing these genomes, the other part of this is education. So how do we go about educating the general public about what the future of medicine is all about? So what we're trying to do is use these people in a way that allows us to have human interest touch points for the competition, so we can actually tell them real stories about real people who are donating their DNA in support of research. And that's what really this is all about, is giving people a sense of community, that this competition will help bring about a radical change in how we view medicine and how physicians and patients will interact together in the future. Really
interesting. And we've been asking the last question because we're coming into 2013. So what's the biggest story in your book coming out of 2013 this next year?
Well, in my opinion, probably the groundbreaking story of the year will be who wins the $10 million Archon Genomics exercise. This competition will take place and actually start on 5 September of 2013, wherein each team competing will have 30 days to sequence the genomes of these 100 supercentenarians. And at the end of the month, we'll be able to declare a winner. And in my opinion, everybody that competes is a winner. But there's only a couple of folks that will probably take home the prize purse. So we're hoping that people out there will pay attention and actually participate.
So how do people tune into your channel? You're at xprize.org?
Right. Well, so we're at genomics.xprize.org, and we also have a Facebook page. So we invite everyone out there to engage in conversation with us online, either on Facebook or via Twitter.
Excellent. Well, hey, we want to thank you for your time, and super excited to see you at the Big Digital Health Summit live in Las Vegas.
Thank you so much, Tim. I'm very excited to be part of it, and look forward to meeting everyone there.
Excellent. Thanks, Grant.